strength. A city mouse had come a long way to get to the wonderful forest. As soon as he arrived, he was joyfully received by his little brothers. He was out of breath. "Brothers, I rushed to warn you, because there's a serious danger. You know that I live in a small pub where some hunters gather. Just yesterday, I heard them say they are organizing a hunting trip here in the forest. They'll arrive in 3 days' time. There's not a minute to lose. All the animals of the forest must escape and save themselves." Concerned, the mice thought that the best solution was to consult the wise lion, the king of the forest, to decide what to do. The lion gathered all the animals to warn them of the imminent danger. Everyone was able to express their opinions freely. Finally, the king turned to the crowd of animals and said to them, "Dear friends, we are faced with a difficult situation. Someone suggested we leave the forest and take refuge somewhere else. Not sure this is the best solution. Here we have our home, our loved ones. Here is the food that allows us to live. Remember that those who can count on so many friends, like us, have a strength at their disposal that can withstand any pressure. Here's what we are going to do." The lion explained the plan he had in mind, and each animal arranged to do his part. The moles started digging a dense network of tunnels at the very beginning of the forest. By means of dams on the river, the beavers filled the tunnels with water. The boars also dug deep holes, and covered them with branches and leaves so that they could not be visible. The monkeys got hundreds of apples and put them in some baskets which were placed among the branches of the trees. Hovering in the sky, the eagle was on the lookout. She was the first to see the arrival of the hunters, just as the city mouse had warned. She warned the roosters that, with their cock-a-doodle-doo, alerted all the animals of the forest. There were many hunters, armed to their teeth and with hunting dogs on a leash. They began to run towards the forest, savoring the hunting loot that awaited them. As soon as they reached the place where the moles had dug the tunnels, the ground crumbled beneath them. The water that the beavers had diverted into the tunnels bogged down both the hunters and the dogs, which were unable to move in the mud. The few hunters who managed to overcome that muddy swamp fell into the holes dug by the boars. At that moment, the monkeys stationed on the trees began to throw apples at the hunters who, entangled in the mud, could not move. All the elephants, buffaloes, and hippos began to stomp their feet on the ground. It was like a terrible earthquake. The earth shook, and the hunters began to scream in fear. Just then, lions and tigers began to roar, terrifying the hunters who fled in fright. The animals saw all those men, muddy and full of bumps caused by the apples thrown by the monkeys, running towards their cars and hightailing it. At that scene, everyone burst out laughing and shouting out of joy for the narrow escape. The lion spoke up. "Friends, we have won and we are safe from danger. Now we can go back to our homes. But let's remember the lesson. We can only defend ourselves if we are united and love each other. If everyone looks, not only for their own interests, but also for the interests of others, we will be able to face any difficult situation and win. United and close-knit, we will always be the stronger ones." All the animals went back to their homes, joyful for the narrow escape, and glad to have learned another useful lesson. What I learned. Nurture your friendships, be a good and loyal friend to everyone. If you have little brothers or sisters, do everything you can to get along with them. Having a loving family and dear friends around us makes our life happier, and when we need help, someone who loves us will more likely be happy to assist us. Words to remember. Look out. A position from which to see ahead what is about to happen. Being on the lookout means being very attentive to warn others about a possible danger. You can also be on the lookout to make a nice surprise to someone. Loot. Goods or riches that can be grabbed. Close-knit. All together, close. united by the same goal. In agreement,